if anything's coming through here. Picking up on the phone. Nothing coming through. Kickoff, end over end kick, gonna go, and that'll be a touchback here. We'll see if I'm not getting any sound on here. Let me. It goes here. So 2nd and 5 here, 2:40 and counting in quarter number 1. Checking back in here. That's freshman Chase Napawaki into the game here. As we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, Bryce Flaker along with Eric Ranke both out with injuries here. Williams, and we're going to get a flag on the play. So Williams still staying alive here. Play not completely whistled dead yet, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what that one is all about here. About 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1 here, and it's been Aurora Catholic High School. The early 13-0 lead here. We'll see what the penalty is all about here. We've been having some audio issues. I think we're getting close to having those resolved, hopefully. I want to give thanks here to Made Custom Apparel. They specialize in providing quality decorated apparel, including from corporate casual, team uniforms, and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. Find just what you need to keep you looking great. Learn more at madeitcustom.com. So 2nd and 15 yards here. A very, lack of a better term, probably just an awesome complex here. The Sun Prairie, Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. Williams back to pass, and that's going to be bobbled there, and that was Porter Boris, the junior tight end, in space there. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long now for the Cardinals. As we mentioned here tonight in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, both Bryce Flaker and Eric Ranke on the sidelines, not going here today, and certainly two very important pieces to that Pacelli offense. Bryce Flaker with nearly 400 yards on the ground, the 4 touchdowns along with 2 reception touchdowns and 101 yards. And then, of course, Eric Ranke, the other part of that two-headed running attack. Williams back to pass, and that's going to be overshot. That was intended there for the senior Zane Phyllis. So we've seen a pretty healthy dose here of Zane Phyllis here this afternoon. Certainly with the injuries there to both Bryce and Eric, you have to think Zane will certainly shoulder a fair amount of that load here. And he coming into today's game with 5 carries for nearly 30 yards, 5.5 average for Zane. But he's also been playing fairly well on kick returns as well. He's had 7 returns for a nearly 20-yard average. So Pacelli back to punt. That one going to be fielded around the 33 or so, we'll say. That's where Aurora Catholic will take over here. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience.
Final week of regular season play. And Angelica, hard to believe that we are already in week number 7. I know we said it last week being in week number 6 here, but the season certainly goes fast. So the run up the middle, and that's going to be, looks like Sean Berna, one of the Cardinals, first in on the hit there for Pacelli. So Grant Bohr, the senior signal caller here for the Chargers. So it's 2nd and 8 here from the 30. About a minute or so remains here in quarter number 1. I give thanks again to all of our game day sponsors. Again, we certainly could not do this without all of our game day sponsors here. So 2nd and 8 here to go. Bohr under center. And that one swallowed up there, and Berna, another one of the Cardinals, in on that, along with, looks like Owen Hansen as well. So Pacelli, pretty stingy run defense here in that predicament here. And Grant Bohr, the again, the senior signal caller here, getting in signs here, and that's gonna signal the end of quarter number 1 here, where the scoreboard here out at Ashley Field in Sun Prairie, the Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. Scoreboard reads Aurora Catholic High School 13, Stevens Point Pacelli 0. Quarter number 2 coming up here in just one moment. You're listening to and watching high school football here this afternoon on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters. Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
All right, we are back. The second quarter coming up here in just a few moments. I want to give thanks here to Dahl Automotive. The Dahl family of vehicles has been earning 5-star reviews since 1911. Now, we'd like to earn your 5-star review at their new Dahl Honda and Dahl Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealerships over in Stevens Point. Learn more online at dahlauto.com. That is dahlauto.com. Also want to give thanks here today to Simplicity Credit Union. The Simplicity Credit Union brings home the win with great mobile options and the right loan for your family, your business, or your home. Check them out at simplicity.coop today. That's simplicity.coop, and that is Simplicity Credit Union. So quarter number 2 here underway. We, I think, have our audio back in control here, it looks like. So Angelica Cool is the other side of the pillow, I guess, as Stuart Scott would say. And that's a big play by junior Max Nelson. Max, one of 4 captains here. Certainly one of the defensive standouts here. You've got Eric Ranke again, who is out, who leads the team in total tackles at 38.5, 4.5 tackles for loss. But Max Nelson, 35.5 tackles. He's got 5.5 TFLs on the season, so very, very big play there to back things up all around the 37-yard line. It'll be, and Pacelli defensively has looked pretty good on this defensive sequence. Back to pass, Bohr, and he's got a man over the middle, and that is going to be, that's complete over to, that's number 23 there. That's Aiden Kriske, the big play there for the Chargers. So just when you thought Pacelli maybe had that defensively, they've been pretty good against the run here. But Bohr, a very efficient or proficient passer as well here for the Chargers. So Just under 11 minutes here to go. Ball placed around the about the 1 yard line or so. Two-back set. And no signal yet. One of the tailbacks there, that's Trey Seafried there, the 5'7", 190-pound senior. Number 0 there. So it'll be second and goal to go here. Score here again, 13-0, early goings. And just a beautiful day for some high school football. And it will be in for a touchdown. So Aurora Catholic now on the board. Their third touchdown of the afternoon. A 1 yard gain there here. So now 19-0 our score. And as we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, pretty good football team, this Aurora Catholic. 4-1 overall. Their only loss was a 41-20 defeat back in week number 4. And lining up here for the point after is Brody Curry. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So Curry able to convert on the PAT, and our scoreboard now reads 20-0 here. 10:15 remains in half number 1. You're listening to and watching high school football here this afternoon on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hofffavor Real Estate Group.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
All right, we are back here, 10:15 to go here in half number 1. Aurora Catholic out to a hard charge here. The Chargers 20 points on the board here thus far. Pacelli offensively and defensively missing 2 of their fairly key playmakers in both juniors, Eric Ranke and Bryce Flaker, both on the sidelines with injury. Hopefully those 2 young men will be back soon. As we mentioned, Pacelli will be back in action on Thursday, so kind of a short week here for the Cardinals against a very, very good Edgar team. The head coach, Jerry Sins, in his 51st year, I believe, of head coaching over at Edgar High School. Coach Drew Nelson, I know we've said it a number of times throughout the course of our broadcast, in his 20th season. And a short kick here, that's going to go out of bounds. Flag will be thrown there. That one out near the 30 or so. That is Pacelli looking to maybe try to get some points on the board here. Early goings here. Again, they are 2-4 on the regular season, 1-3 in conference. Had a 14-0 victory back in week number 1 over at Manawa back on August 21st. Hard to believe that was 6 weeks ago now, Angelica. And then they had a very spirited 27-20 victory over at Iola Scandinavia back on September 19th. And then ran into a pretty tough opponent last week with Auburndale. Phyllis the give, and Phyllis still going strong. Zane Phyllis gets outside to his right, and Zane Phyllis one man to beat. And that is Grant Bohr in on the stop, but Zane Phyllis doing some Zane Phyllis type things here, and he's certainly a very capable ball carrier, as we've seen. Predominantly, we've seen him on kickoff returns, and one of just 2 seniors on this Pacelli squad. So playing in his final stretch of high school football games, here is Zane Phyllis running with some grit, no doubt. So ball around the 41-yard line here, 1st and 10 to go, 9:45 and counting here in half number 1. Jacob Williams working from the gun, single back set. He's going to roll out to his left, tries to cut the corner to get outside, a spin move, and he'll get down to about the 34 or so. So a nice pickup there for Williams. Play looked like maybe it was going to be contained, but Williams able to evade a few tackles there and gets down to the 34-yard line. So a 7-yard pickup for Williams. And Jake, one of those guys, too, that, he came into this game with 230 rushing yards. Came into the game with 330 passing yards. Phyllis gets outside, and Phyllis still running strong, and it's going to take a whole host of Chargers to get Zane down. He is going to get up near around the 20 or so. And that's going to be another Pacelli first down here to go. Early goings, 8:52 and counting here in half number one. Again, Pacelli looking to try to get some points on the board here. It's been all Aurora Catholic High School here thus far, but a lot of football here left in front of us. And don't know the exact game time temperature, but you have to think, and ball on the ground here, and that's going to be, and we'll see, it looks like maybe the Chargers, we'll see where that is going to be recovered by the Chargers here. So you had some momentum going there and a somewhat costly fumble, I guess we'll say, but that's gonna give the Chargers here 1st and 10. They're going to be deep in Pacelli territory, down around the 13-yard line or so. And that is where the Chargers will take over Grant Bory, along with a number of seniors here for the 5 are captains, it looks like. They got 5 seniors, 8 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 7 freshmen do the Chargers of Aurora Catholic. Bohr under center, lefty back to pass, got it out in space. That's going to be caught and up to around the 30 or so. And that'll be a first down here for the Chargers. So the chain gang moving things up here. Ball at the 30-yard line, 8-10 and counting here in half number one. Week number 7 of this high school football season. Of course, Pacelli Catholic, this is considered, I guess, technically a neutral site, obviously, and a very nice one at that. Give outside, and that's Seafried, I believe, on the carry. It's a pretty good defensive effort there on the run. For the most part, run defense has looked pretty decent, I would say, for the Cardinals. But Grant Bohr with already a couple of touchdown passes, one of them being on a 4th and longer situation. So Bohr under center. Looks like he's going to take it himself, and he's going to be swallowed up there around the 35-yard line or so. Maybe the 33 or so. We'll see where they officially mark that. 36-yard line, so about a 3-yard pickup now. So 3rd and about 4 to go. And as we're kind of commenting on in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, there's really nice facilities here, nice press box. We've got the air condition cranked up. Hard to believe that 4th day of October here we're talking air conditioning, but we are. Timeout's going to be called. Want to give thanks again to all of our game day sponsors, Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Get the best tire prices, period, during the factory direct tire sale at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service, up to $200 back by online or mail-in rebate on a select set of our 4 Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. On now at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Also want to give thanks here today to Bruce Orthodontics. Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for patients of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office and accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they're changing lives one smile at a time. Set up a free consultation today. So 6:25 here to go in this one. And you thought for a moment there Pacelli had a little bit of momentum kind of on the shoulders of both Jacob Williams along with Zane Phyllis, sort of willing their way down the field in that drive. But the fumble going the way of the Chargers here, and pretty big third down here defensively for the Cardinals. And the give, and that's going to be first down yardage and then possibly more. And still going, and one man to beat, and that's Terry Seafried with his second touchdown run here today, a 64-yard touchdown run for Terry. So quickly now it is 26-0 here in favor of the Chargers. Again, a very good football team in that, obviously they play down in Illinois in a pretty decent conference, it looks like, 4-1. And, they've put up some points here this season. The last two games, 61 points. In Game 3, it had 36 points. So, I mean, this is a team that can put up some points in a hurry. So we will take a brief pause here. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with so many delicious favorites featuring hundreds of varieties of bratwurst, chicken, pork, steak, and so much more. No matter what you're looking for, everything you'll find at Ski's Meat Market is always fresh with so many local gems including pizzas, salsas, deli meats, and a variety of homemade dips, pasta salads, veggies, loaded baked potatoes, and drinks. Ski's is a one-stop shop for all your culinary needs. They're always adding new flavors and specialty products. Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Their quality is worth the stop.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks here tonight, or today I should say. It's kind of a rare Saturday afternoon game. Obviously a lot of high school games Friday nights, the infamous Friday Night Lights. Pacelli will be back in action, as we mentioned, Thursday. They'll be hosting the Wildcats of Edgar coming to town. I want to give thanks here tonight to Infinity Exteriors. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last. Saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors, we guarantee quality that you can trust. That is Infinity Exteriors. I also want to give thanks here tonight to Little Scholars Childcare, Little Scholars and Little Scholars Beginnings, our two beautiful childcare and preschools in Stevens Point offering early child learning for infants through 4K. You'll find great facilities and a comfortable environment to help your child grow. Visit littlescholars.com. So the Chargers will kick off here. The 27 points on the scoreboard here, just in half number one, and doing the kickoff duties. That's Kyle Stanislow, the number 2 there, the 5'9" junior. Kick an end-over-end kick. That's going to be taken near the 20-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals will topple on top of it here. And that's freshman Sam Westrick, so Pacelli will have a 1st and 10 here to go. And we had a lot of games last night, not only obviously around the area on high school spurts, but a number of games on Zaleski Sports as well. Angelica and I were able to call the Spash game last night, a 49-21 victory, a convincing victory at that. Had our 5 co-Zaleski Sports Highlight House players in the form of the Spash offensive line, as they were able to rack up nearly 685 yards of offense last night. It'll be 2nd and 8 here to go, just under 6 minutes here in half number 1. In case you're just joining us here, we had a little bit of audio issue, but we got that all solved. Again, Angelica smooth under pressure and getting us all situated. Kind of a lot that goes into that, a lot of logistics, but she did a real nice job in getting us going. Williams going to keep it himself, trying to cut the corner, and he is not going to hit the corner quite quick enough there because Aiden Krischke there is able to meet him there, and that's going to be around the, we'll see where they mark that here. So Napawaki checks back in here for the Cardinals. Nearing the 5 minutes remaining here in half number 1. It has been basically all Aurora Catholic Central High School here thus far in this first half, but Shelley looking to maybe manufacture a good series here. Williams going through his progressions. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to get to the outside. He does get to the outside. Williams showing some nifty moves. Still going, going to get up near midfield, and that is just, you know, kind of reminds me, and I'm probably going to date myself a little bit, but kind of that Tecmo Bowl game, Angelica. I don't know if that's anything you might remember. Maybe not. I'm certainly much older, but kind of a Tecmo Bowl type run there for Jacob Williams and willing his Cardinals offense near midfield here. And you have to think that head coach Drew Nelson and staff trying to get some points on the board here in this first half. Again, a very warm day here, and certainly field conditions probably add another 10 or so degrees. Phyllis going to get stacked up, and one of the Chargers in on the play there was Joey Arch, number 79, the 6'1", 180-pound junior. One of the first in on that tackle is Joey Arch, big number 79. So it's going to be about 2nd and 11 here to go. Ball at the 48. 3:30 and counting in half number 1. Williams working from the gun here. Single back set. Williams looks to pass. He's got it out to the tight end, and that's Porter Boris in space, number 23, complete. So Cardinals now in Charger territory. Sam Westrick checking back in here. Ball at the 47-yard line. It's 3rd and about 5 to go here. So a big 3rd down here coming up for the Cardinals. See if they can try to convert on this. And I know we've said it a couple times, but certainly being down 2 of your more productive offensive and certainly defensive players has not been overly beneficial. Williams takes it himself. He's going to get up to about the 43. It looks like he'll probably be about a yard or maybe a couple yards short. You have to think at this juncture, 4-down territory in this spot. So Noah Polaric in now here for the Cardinals, number 21. Shelley with a number of freshmen, certainly getting some game action here. Not only today necessarily, but throughout the course of the year. Williams under center. And snap, that's going to go to Phyllis. Phyllis is going to get, I think he's going to be short, it looks like. Actually, they're going to give it to him. All right. What the heck do I know, huh? So Phyllis willing his way for a 1st down. Once you hear those bells, the Cardinals bells jingling, you know that you got a 1st down here. So ball at the 41 here, nearing the 2-minute mark to go here in half number 1. 2-back set for Williams and the Cardinals. The give is to Phyllis. Phyllis running strong, gets down to near the 35, 5 or 6 yard pickup there for Zane. So Polaric back in here. Coach Berna down there along with head coach Drew Nelson and the rest of the Cardinals coaching staff. 2nd and 3 here to go from the 35. Phyllis, beg your pardon, that is actually going to be Grady Smith, number 31, on the carry for the Cardinals. So you've seen kind of a heavy dose of Zane Phyllis, but Grady Smith getting some carries as well. They're down here and 3 yards to go. The give is to Phyllis. Phyllis tries to evade a tackler, and he's going to be met by a host of couple of Chargers there. One of the first in on that was Terry Seafried. So that's gonna turn over on downs here. So we'll take a brief commercial pause. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from the Hoff-Favor Real Estate Group.
At R&R Flooring and Furniture, we sell products that look good and products that last.
You want a great selection at a great price and a company that stands behind their products? You will find Wolfcraft, Ashley, Marshfield Furniture, and more.
Looking to get the best sleep of your life? We have a mattress for you. Get a 15-year non-paraded hybrid mattress for only 25 cents a night, and we also carry adjustable beds. When it comes to flooring, furniture, and mattresses, it's easy. Come to R&R Flooring and Furniture today. That's all it takes.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks here to Nicolay Bank. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking at its best. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill. Or learn more at nicolaybank.com. That's Nicolay Bank. I also want to give thanks here today to Home Furniture. Fill your home with the best from Home Furniture. Sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. Home Furniture with locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and Post Road in Plover. So we are under a minute here to go in this first half of play. Kind of a game that's been predominantly swinging in the favor of the Chargers here thus far. Williams out in space, and that's going to be incomplete there to Phyllis. And now that will be the takeover and down. So I got ahead of myself a little bit. My sincere apologies for that. So the Chargers will take over on downs here. And you really couldn't ask for a better day in terms of weather here. I know I always talk about the weather. Sometimes we'll talk about the cloud formation. Looks like we've got a combination of maybe some cirrus and cumulus clouds in the horizon here. The Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. A very hospitable group. We got to the site here, I don't know, about 11:25 or so, and they met us and got us situated here. And a first down carry, that's number 23 here for the Chargers. That's Aiden Kriske again. So it'll be 2nd and 5 here to go. Board back to pass. Over the middle, let's see if they're going to say it's going to be incomplete here. That was intended for Kyle Stanislaw there, the junior. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 to go here. 25 seconds showing on our Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium here. Again, it's been all Aurora Central Catholic High School here in this first half. And certainly don't ever like to make excuses, but certainly not having Eric Ranke and Bryce Flaker certainly have an impact, no doubt. Bohr back to pass. And nearly picked off. That was Phyllis with the pass deflection there in coverage. Zane Phyllis. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 5 here to go. Happy to be able to make the trek down here to Sun Prairie. Just a hop, skip, and a jump, we'll say, over from Madison. Had a chance to live down here for a few years myself, many, many moons ago. Certainly a great venue here. Sun Prairie. And the give, and that's going to be first down yardage there, and a tackle there made by Max Nelson. Kind of a what we'll call sort of a shoestring type tackle almost. But not before the Chargers pick up the first down. Timeout called on the field. We'll keep it right here with 15 seconds here to go in this first half of play. Again, kind of a rare Saturday game here. And then they'll be kind of a quick turnaround. They'll be back in action hosting, as we said, Edgar Thursday. So certainly those short turnaround weeks, certainly the coaching staff, you probably approach some of the logistics and practices a little bit differently perhaps. And again, a very, very good Edgar team coming into Stevens Point. Legendary head coach Jerry Sins and his Wildcats squad. Certainly that will be a handful, we'll say. But we'll have that one on Zaleski Sports. So 1st and 10 here to go. Ball at the 46 for Grant Bohr under center here for the Chargers. Drops back to pass. And that's going to be tipped there and a fall incomplete. That was Aiden Kriske, the intended receiver, I believe, here. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 yards to go here. From the 46. You have to think Pacelli will do whatever they can here to try to prevent any more points from being put on the board here today, as this first half winds down. Bohr going to take it himself. He'll be met by a couple of Cardinals on that. I believe that was Sean Berna, one of the Cardinals in on that. And it looks like we'll get another timeout. We'll keep it right here, though, with just the 7 seconds here to go in this first half of action. At Aurora Central Catholic High School. Again, 25 athletes. They've kind of a nice mix of freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Just the 5 seniors they have, but 8 juniors, the 5 sophomores, and 7 freshmen here. So kind of a nice balance there. Pacelli, just the 2 seniors. Of course, Zane Phyllis, who's been playing a pretty key role here today in this Pacelli offense, along with Peter Bella Jr. So the final 7 seconds here to go in half number 1. Bohr back to pass. And Williams, but I think they're maybe going to get, we're going to get contact. We'll see if that does go. It may be a PI perhaps, but we'll see. Was able to tip that. That is going to be a pass interference, so that's going to give a first down here to the Chargers with 3 seconds. You have to think probably the final play of this first half. So the Chargers Ball at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 to go. Grant Bohr, again, as we mentioned, a couple of touchdown passes here today. He's looked pretty crisp back in the pocket. Another one of those guys that can kind of beat you both with his arm, left-handed quarterback, and certainly with his legs. He'll drop back to pass, and that's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there, that was number 21, and Leo Corral, the sophomore. We will be at a half here. Our scoreboard out here reads 27-0 here at the half. We'll take a few moments for pause here. We'll bring it back here momentarily. You have been listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends over at the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
If you ask us, picking out new furniture should be fun, and when you work with us, it is. Home Furniture's free design assistance in your home or in our store. We make the process as easy as possible by helping you envision what your furniture and your room will look like. What inspires you? Visit Home Furniture today to create a single sofa or an entire room. We'll help you bring it all together. Dream it, create it, love it. Home Furniture's free design assistance, West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
Yeah, I'll do a quick, maybe 2-minute overview here. All right, we are back here, all at halftime here. 27-0 is our score out in Sun Prairie, the Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. In fact, Ashley Field, and kind of a treat to play here. This is a nice complex, really through and through. I mean, I very impressed by everything, the hospitality, the everybody that kind of greeted us as we got here, got us set up in a really nice press box here, the air condition, which again, who would think that on this 4th day in October that you would have the air conditioning cranked on the highest gear setting here, but we do, and certainly would love to keep these temperatures as long as we possibly can. Kind of an uncharacteristic type weather pattern, but certainly not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. But already hard to believe, Angelica, we are in week number 7 here in high school action. Just a couple weeks remaining on this regular season, and then of course, then you start getting into the playoff postseason action around the state here. Pacelli 2-4 overall on this season here. It's been kind of a tough first half here for the Cardinals, and again, I know I've said it a couple times, and I certainly don't want to rehash it too much or make excuses, but being down 2 of your very productive offensive and defensive players in the likes of both Bryce Flaker and Eric Ranke, that is certainly tough to withstand. And Pacelli, just battling. You're seeing a lot of good fight from guys like Zane Phyllis and Jacob Williams and some of the other guys on this squad here defensively, Max Nelson and Sean Berna and Porter Boris with a reception here today. But, they're going to keep grinding, I would say, and they're going to keep doing what they can, this Cardinals team. Numbers certainly, I think they're around 19 or so on this roster. And, and everything I'm hearing is that some of those classes, kind of the younger groups, the 7th and 8th grade groups, maybe even going down to 6th grade, middle school program looks phenomenal. I mean, just from what I've seen, I've had a chance to kind of follow that a little bit. You've got good numbers. You've got a combination of size and athletes. And obviously, a lot can change between middle school and high school. But you have to think that there's some, hopefully some additional kids coming into the program here for the Cardinals. Again, head coach Drew Nelson, I should say. We call him Drew Nelson, in his 20th season here at the helm for the Cardinals. But again, a halftime score 27-0. And we're going to take a few-minute pause here. We'll get you caught back up here momentarily. Half number 2, probably about 10 minutes or so away. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from over at the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
The littlest thing of walking or just being able to get around the community or walk to the grocery store or walk around the grocery store is just something little, but that is such an impactful thing, I think, to the patient to say, okay, well, I have 5 other things, but you were able to just help me with one of them. And I think that is gratifying for me personally, just to help even one small aspect of their life.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto.
For the best food in town, look no further than Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. This locally owned, 50s-themed diner loves to support their community while providing a full menu of breakfast and lunch options, along with all-day breakfasts and Friday fish fry. Enjoy a fun, family atmosphere with delicious meals made from scratch, including skillets and tasty burgers. Dine in or take out is welcome, Mondays through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Treat yourself to a mouth-watering experience at the Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
All right, we are back here still at the at our halftime here. Again, halftime score 27-0 here in favor of the Aurora Central Catholic High School, the Chargers. In fact, and both teams making a longer bus ride, kind of a non-conference neutral type site. But again, a very nice site at that here at the Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium, Ashley Field to be exact. Right in the heart of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Probably not too far down the road. handful of Bairn Cots from this area. I've got an aunt and uncle that live over in Sun Prairie, as well as a number of cousins and family here. So Sun Prairie synonymous with a few Bairn Cots over here. Name originated over in Mount Horeb. But it's always kind of nice to get down here every once in a while. And this is, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's always a treat to play in facilities like this. Obviously, the Cardinals play over at Gerke, and that's one of the premier facilities, no doubt. But this, another just an excellent venue for some high school football here today, and really a treat for both teams. Aurora Central Catholic, not a bad crowd that they had as well here. I don't know the exact distance that they had, Angelica, as far as how far they had to go. I know all the Pacelli faithful, family, friends, and everything in between, about an hour and a half or so, roughly. Almost a straight shot down I-39. And then into Sun Prairie here. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors. Again, I know we talk about it so much, but really just very thankful for all of our sponsors, everything that they do for us to bring you these high school games, whether it's football or volleyball or soccer, basketball, baseball, softball. Aaron Cott on the call here this afternoon, along with Angelica on our production. And Angelica tells me everything running very smoothly now. We got the live stream going well. The audio seems to be coming through. And brief pause here. We'll bring it right back here in a few moments. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends over at the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
We will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Maida Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at Maida Custom.
I went to the orthodontist and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here and he was very happy with the smile. I'd recommend Ruth Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointment, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation.
Just makes sense. Mittens carries higher quality furniture from all of your favorite brands because we want you to be proud of your space.
It just makes sense. Mittens carries all of your favorite appliance brands so we can save you money on the products you trust.
It just makes sense that Mittens services what we sell because we want your home to be comfortable and run smoothly.
It just makes sense. Central Wisconsin has shopped at Mittens since 1938 because we have it all.
The auto service specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that looked for my best interest. And he said, we're going to get you up walking without the walker. I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
All right, we are back here, just moments away here from half number 2 being underway. So it's been, as we said, Aurora Central Catholic High School, kind of a commanding lead here through half number 1. They get 13 points on the board in quarter number 1. And then they put up 14 points in quarter number 2. So 27-0 our score here at the half. Still another half, however, to play. And I always like to say it is never over until it's over. You never want to, certainly if you're the team in command, you never want to let up necessarily. And if you're the team playing from behind, anything can happen really, certainly. And Again, this is a pretty good-looking football team here from Aurora Central Catholic High School. I know we've said it a few times now, but they've scored their fair share of points playing in that conference. They play down in Illinois. They'll be back in action. They actually have 3 regular season games left. Living Word Lutheran next Friday night. And then they have a date with Bigfoot, I believe, is the name of the program that they'll be playing a couple weeks from now. That's Friday, October 17th. And then they'll finish off the regular season against Fisher. And again, kind of an Illinois-Wisconsin battle going on here. And for those of you that may or may not be following, and I don't want to, I'm sure many people are, but the Brewers, in fact, out front here 9-1 here in the 3rd inning in the first game of that NLDS action, a 108 first pitch that was. So Brewers out front here 9-1 early goings here, top of the 3rd. Freddie Peralta going in that one. So that is certainly, if you're a Brewer fan like I am, that is very, very good news. So we're going to take another brief pause of action here. We're in the final 2 minutes or so here. Both teams getting warmed up here. We'll have the second half for you here in just a few moments. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, presented by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group.
In every department at Doll Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Doll Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Doll Auto, simple.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life. And that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
All right, back out here. Second half coming up here in just a few moments. Want to give thanks here today to Valley Communities Credit Union for 90 years. Valley Communities Credit Union has been part of your hometown team. Local, trusted, strong Valley Communities Credit Union, where community comes first, federally insured by NCUA. That is Valley Communities Credit Union. So a whole other half to go here. It's been all Chargers here on the arms and legs of number 7 and quarterback Grant Bohr here today. Thrown for a couple of scores. So Zane Phyllis, one of the Cardinals, back here, deep here, as they'll receive this second half kickoff. And perhaps looking to maybe try to build some momentum, perhaps. And try to maybe get some points on the board. They had a couple of drives where they were able to kind of get down into Chargers territory, at least in one possession, able to methodically get down where we thought maybe they would get some points on the board, but then the fumble recovered there by the Chargers. So kickoff, and it's kind of a low liner there to Phyllis. Phyllis He's going to get out to about the 42, 43 yard line. That is where the Cardinals will take over. A 1st and 10 coming up here for Stevens Point. Pacelli, Jacob Williams trying to get his squad rallied here to try to maybe make this a bit closer here in the second half of action. So Sam Westrick, one of the near side receivers, that's number 20, Sam Westrick, lining up. 2 back set. You've got Phyllis. And Phyllis bobbling that one, and looks like that's going to be recovered by the Chargers. That's I think that was number 21. It looks like, I believe, Leo Corral on the fumble recovery, if I was looking at that correctly. Number 21, Leo Corral, the 5'9", 140-pound sophomore. And that's going to give the Chargers some pretty good field possession here. Position, I should say, on this possession. Good position on this possession. That is kind of a tongue twister here. So it's going to be 1st and 10, 13 seconds gone by here in this second half. Bohr takes it himself, gets outside, cups up, and he'll get first down yardage there for Grant Bohr, the 5'10" senior, signal caller here for the Chargers. Aurora Central Catholic High School, of course, coached by Christian Rago. Had a chance to talk to Coach Rago a little bit. His group made the trek up here. Bohr, and the give is outside. That's Trey Seafrid there. And he'll have enough for a first down here for the Chargers. So certainly then when you get to that point where it becomes 35-0, then the running clock comes into play. Cardinals certainly going to try to do their best to prevent that here from happening in this early part of quarter number 3. Now we're going to get some movement. I think that's going to go against the Cardinals, but we'll see. Yeah, that is going to be on the Cardinals here. I'll move things up a little bit here for the Chargers. So you have to think Aurora Central Catholic, when in control of this one, probably in no real hurry to, obviously want to try to punch it in, no doubt, but certainly the clock definitely in their favor. Bohr takes it himself, and Bohr in for the 15-yard touchdown run. That's a 15-yarder. That's Grant Bohr at about the 10-16 mark here in quarter number 3. So it's now 33-0, and a line up here for the extra point. That's Brody Curry. Place kicker, Bohr to hold here. Snap is down, kick is up, and it's a pretty high kick, and we'll see. And that will get in. That's going to be good. So it's now 34-0 on the Brody Curry extra point. 10-16 remaining here in quarter number 3. You're listening to and watching high school football here this afternoon on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters. Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
All right, we are back. Grant Bohr on the 15-yard touchdown run. And then, of course, the extra point good there by Brody Curry. I want to give thanks here to all of our game day sponsors. Ridgetop Exteriors, just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. That is ridgetopexteriors.com. So 10-16 here to go. The Chargers will kick off. You've got Westrick and Phyllis back deep here for the Cardinals. So Zane Phyllis, as you mentioned, one of two seniors here on this Pacelli squad. It's kind of a low kick there. That's going to be taken by Phyllis. He'll pick it up near the 30. Tries to cut outside, changes directions, and Phyllis making a nice run, a good stiff arm there, and Phyllis running strong. Zane Phyllis showing some good running there, gets down to the 35-yard line. So a pretty nice run there for Zane. Trying to get some momentum here for his Cardinal squad. Again, one of two seniors, you know, and that's kind of one of those things that those are kind of plays that will charge up a team a little bit. So we'll see if that translates over here, but a nice return there by the senior Zane Phyllis. So it's kind of those little sparks that can kind of ignite a bit of a run here, we'll say, hopefully, for the Cardinals anyways. So 1st and 10 here from the 35. Williams two-back set. That one's given to Phyllis. Phyllis going to run and get near the 30. Picks up about 5 or so. And number 76, that was one of the Chargers in. Looks like that was Ariano Diego. So it'll be 2nd and 5 yards to go. Ball at the 30-yard line here for. It's at the Chargers 30. So Williams working from the gun here. And that's going to be given to Grady Smith, number 31. That's the two backfield set of Smith and Phyllis here this afternoon. Westrick checks back in here. Sam Westrick, the freshman for the Cardinals. So we're under 9 minutes here to go in this third quarter of action. Single back set. That's Phyllis lined up. Williams trying to go with a hard count. There appeared to be a little movement, but and that should be enough for a Cardinals first down. That's Zane Phyllis on the carry. And I know Zane certainly, again, is one of those two seniors, you know, one of those leaders that's going to try to kind of will some of his Cardinals teammates here to try to create some offense here for Pacelli. So it's 1st down and 10 here. Ball at the 24 or so. And that one given to Phyllis. Phyllis trying to get outside. He's going to get down, get a cut back into his right. Some pretty hard running. He'll get down near the 11 or 12-yard line, depending on where that was marked. And, you know, I got to be honest with you. Zane is running well today, Angelica. I know, again, you know, probably, you know, as a senior, realizing you're kind of in these final few games of your regular season high school career. And, you know, they have always said leave it kind of all out on the field. And I would say he's he's definitely been doing that here today. So 2-back set. We've got Grady Smith there lined up to the right. Williams working from the gun. And Grady Smith up the middle. He's going to get down near the first down marker there. And it looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 2, it looks like, from the 5. So Smith and Phillips lined up here. Williams from the gun. Give outside. Phillips going to try to get to the outside, going to try to get in, and he is going to be short, but there is going to be a flag on the play. I am not quite sure. I think that may go against Aurora Central Catholic. We'll see. Are they going to say maybe, yeah, we'll see here. We'll get the official word on this. Officiating crew collaborating. Want to give thanks here today to Stevens Point Orthopedics. Stevens Point Orthopedics is proud to provide complimentary sports physicals to Central Wisconsin athletes this fall. Call 715-344-0701 to schedule your appointment. That's 715-344-0701, and that is Stevens Point Orthopedics. Yes, a personal foul is what was the call there, so that's half the distance to the goal type penalty. It's first down and goal to go here for the Cardinals, and another possession here where they are trying to create a little bit of momentum, and I think really this was kind of set up by Zane Phillips. Certainly had that nice kickoff return, and it will be a touchdown here for the Cardinals. So Stevens Point on the board now. Head coach Drew Nelson calling for the 2 points here at this juncture at the 6:40 mark here to go. So Williams and the Cardinals here. The give is to Phyllis. Phyllis trying to cut back, and he's going to be stopped. So the 2-point conversion no good, but the Cardinals get on the board here. 6:40 to go here in quarter number 3. Score now 34-6. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from our friends from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
All right, we are back. Pacelli on the board here. 34-6, 6:40 to go here in quarter number 3. And a little bit of momentum, and Pacelli certainly trying to grind and create some of that momentum, and it's a play here, a play there, certainly, and pretty good offensive sequence there, set up really nicely by that the nice kick return by senior Zane Phillips. So Pacelli now will kick off here, trailing by 4 scores here. Well, you have to think head coach Drew Nelson and the rest of the Pacelli here not gonna give up just yet. Not gonna give up at all, in fact. Gonna keep grinding no matter what. Injuries or not, that's just part of football. But showing some grit on that last offensive drive. So Williams and the ball will fall off the tee. But they'll get another chance at it. We'll get the hold here. So Jake Williams to kick here, and that one rocketed back into the end zone for the touchback. I want to give thanks here today to the Rock and Roll Cafe. Find a great variety of breakfast options at the Rock and Roll Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, Friday, fish fry, and service with a smile. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and only on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. That is the Rock and Roll Cafe. So a couple of games probably, I think, going on around the area here today. So Aurora Catholic Central High School looking to try to collect their 5th win of the season. Pacelli looking to try to, he has thoughts otherwise. So Max Nelson there, one of the first in on the hit there for the Cardinals. 2nd and 6 here from the 24. 6:20 and counting here in this 3rd quarter of action. And the senior signal caller and Grant Bohr, who has been kind of a one-person wrecking crew. Certainly others, no doubt, but he's been able to kind of show you a little bit of what he can do, certainly with his legs as well as with his arm here. So we've got an injured player down here for the Chargers here. It looks like he'll be okay. I think that's, let's see if we can get a number there. I believe that's Trey Seafrid, I believe. Just kind of walking off under his own power, maybe a little shaken up on that one. It's going to be 3rd and short here, ball at the 29-yard line. So Bohr works under center here for the Chargers. He'll roll out to his right, tries to get to the outside. Doing his best tip-toe impersonation. Coach Nelson pointing out that he may have stepped out near the 39. We'll see if he's correct or not. I think that is where they're going to mark it, in fact. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 here from the 39. So another nice, as we talked about, the aforementioned Grant Bohr here is able to kind of beat you both with his arm and his legs as their one of their senior leaders, no doubt, one of their 4 captains that we had a chance to, actually 5 captains, I think. So he'll work under center. And the give, that's number 3, the ball carrier. That's, I believe that was Billy Arch, but a good defensive stance there for the Cardinals. And that was Dominic Sackman, I believe. Sackman family in attendance here. Dominic also a member of the Pacelli Cardinals baseball team, which was down at state. They were in the state final game back in early June. Runner-up in baseball, had a really nice season, no doubt, under another legendary coach in Wayne Sankey. The give to Bohr. Bohr, 2 guys to beat here, and Grant Bohr in for another touchdown, and that's going to be a 62-yard run there for Grant Bohr in the score. 62-yard run here. At about the 4:22 mark here in quarter number 3. So as we've mentioned, the aforementioned Grant Bohr just been It's kind of been a monster on really and just about every facet here that we've seen. So the point after attempt by Brody Curry. Bore the holder there. Snap down, kick up, and it is good. So the point after is good here. So now 41-6 our score. 4:22 remains here in quarter number 3. You are listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favored Real Estate Group.
Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with so many delicious favorites featuring hundreds of varieties of bratwurst, chicken, pork, steak, and so much more. No matter what you're looking for, everything you'll find at Ski's Meat Market is always fresh with so many local gems including pizzas, salsas, deli meats, and a variety of homemade dips, pasta salads, veggies, loaded baked potatoes, and drinks. Ski's is a one-stop shop for all your culinary needs. They're always adding new flavors and specialty products. Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Their quality is worth the stop.
All right. We are back, Angelica says, so we're 41-6 our score. 4:22 remains here in quarter number 3. And another Grant Bohr touchdown. That one was a 62-yard run there for Grant, the senior. He's thrown for a couple and run for a couple as well here today. So Grant, certainly, Angelica, you have to think probably the focal point here for this Aurora Central Catholic High School squad. Certainly a very good-looking football team at 4-1 overall, as we mentioned today in our Auto Select pregame show. 1-1 in conference play. And a team that can put points up in bunches, as we've seen this afternoon here. So Sam Westrick and Zane Phyllis, the two Cardinals, back deep here at about 4:22 to go in quarter number 3. And it's going to be kind of a low kick. Going to be fielded by Westrick about the 16-yard line. Sam looking for his blockers. He'll get up near the 35 or so, so about an 18 or 19-yard return there for the freshman and Sam Westrick. That is where the Cardinals will take over. I give thanks here to Fleet Farm. No matter what your everyday life looks like, Fleet Farm has you covered at the best prices guaranteed. Auto, pet, bird, farm, snacks. Fleet Farm has everything you need at all the lowest prices. So kind of alternating between standing and sitting here. Kind of the nice swivel chair here, Angelica. It's it's kind of the best of both worlds. Williams going to take it himself. Waiting for a blocker or two, but he's not going to get too far. He's going to be bottled up around the 32 or so. I think he'll lose a couple on that one, it looks like. 3 to be exact. So it's second down, 13 to go. 3:15 and counting here. And Noah Polaric checks back in here, one of the freshmen on the squad for the Cardinals. Ball up near the 33. Second and long here for Pacelli. And the give is to Phyllis. Phyllis going to get near the 35, back to about the original line of scrimmage there for Zane. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Sam Westrick again checks back in. Sam certainly seen some very formidable action here as well as a freshman. And, a number of these freshmen getting some real action, which certainly as they develop, get a little bit older, a little bit stronger, certainly will pay dividends to see some of that varsity action early on. Williams in some trouble here, putting on some nice moves. Jake Williams gets to the outside and showing and doing Jake Williams types things. He's going to get past midfield there, does Jake. About a 17-yard pickup for the quarterback and Jake Williams. Very shifty type player here. He looks to be maybe a little shaken up, is Jake, but looks like he's gonna be okay. Pilark checks back in for Westrick. So ball at the 47 now, so another pretty spirited type run there for Jacob Williams. Between Williams and Phyllis today. Showing, in my opinion, some pretty hard running. Grady Smith, the man in motion. The give is to Smith. Smith going to get out to near the 44 or so. Gain of about 3, we'll say. Under a minute here to go in this third quarter of action. 41-6 our score. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. And certainly Pacelli will be in a kind of a race against the clock to try to do whatever they can to try to maybe get back in this thing, but the clock certainly will be a factor. The give is to Phyllis. Phyllis, and a good open field TFL there. That is, let's see who is in on that. That's big number 51 there. That was Lex Lopez, the 6-foot, 240-pound senior getting in on that one. So Lex getting his defensive squad fired up here. Timeout is called. We'll take a brief pause. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
All right, we are back. Fourth quarter upon us here. So the fourth quarter coming up here. Final quarter of play over here in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Ashley Field, the Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. The Sun Prairie West Wolves and along the Sun Prairie East Cardinals both play their high school football over here. You've got the nice, you kind of see the nice logos here for both of those squads. Again, Sun Prairie East Cardinals and the Sun Prairie West Wolves. And again, I know we've said it. We'll say it one more time, and I promise it'll be the last time. This is just a outstanding facility, great place to play not only football, but certainly it looks like soccer and lacrosse. Just a really nice complex. Great venue here. A treat to be up here. And it might be 90 degrees on the field, Angelica, but it's 67 and feeling great here in this press box. So, this air condition works really well. Williams back to pass. And tipped over to Phyllis. And we're going to get a flag on the play. Kind of a late flag. I'm not sure exactly what that will be. It might be coming back, but we'll see. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but one of those situations where it was almost like, I don't know if it was intended to be tipped, and then it ultimately Phyllis, the ball tipped to Phyllis. Officiating crew collaborating here. We'll see what the call is. Sometimes, it was a little bit of a later flag, I guess. It didn't, sometimes you wonder maybe it was a hold perhaps, kind of based on where the flag was thrown. I guess I never like to speculate too much because I've been wrong more than I've been right, and that's probably why I'm better suited to call the game than officiate the game. That's neither here nor there. And that will go against the Cardinals, so I guess I was right. That's going to be fourth down here now for the Cardinals. Today's game brought to you in part by Blinds and Designs by Kelly Premier Auto Body, Dahl Automotive, Stevens Point Brewery, Lear's Jewelers, Point Heating and Cooling, and Portesi Pizza. Had a chance to have a Portesi Pizza not all that long ago, and that's always a treat. You really can't go wrong, Angelica, when it comes to Portesi Pizza. Really, no matter what flavor it is, they're all really good. That one going to be picked off around the 20, and that's number 21 and still going. And he's going to get down deep into Cardinal territory. I believe that was Leo Corral with the interception. So Leo with the INT and able to take it back nearly 50 yards on the return there. So the Chargers now, you have to be thinking, probably going to see a pretty healthy dose of run offense here as that clock continues to wind here at 9:30 and counting here in this final quarter of play. You can see there Ranke and Flaker, the two juniors. Hopefully those two will be back in a short period of time. 1st and 10 here from the 30. Looks like a new signal caller in here for the Chargers. That is Aiden Kriske, it looks like, number 23. In relief here today of Grant Bohr. Grant with a monster game. And I would say certainly this is no slight on anybody, but Grant has been, I guess, what would be considered, at least in my humble opinion, at least probably that player of the game here. But again, 8.5 minutes left here. So again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But he has certainly been a force here today for the Chargers. So it's 2nd and 8 here from the 27. Risky back under center here for the Chargers. Faked handoff and able to make something out of nothing. Not going to get a lot on that, but he looked at one point that he was going to be swallowed up there. Max Nelson, one of the Cardinals, in on that. He was able to get over down to the 25 now, so it's going to be 24 it looks like. 3rd and 4. 7.5 and counting here to go in this one. Kind of coming up on the 3 o'clock hour, 2:55. Time of day. 3:55 on the East Coast. 12:55 out on the Pacific side. Keep your time zone straight. Although both Illinois and Pacelli playing out of the central time zone. So no worries there. I do, however, often find myself having to kind of really know my time zones. My day job, a lot of meetings with people kind of all throughout the U.S., so many times working in 3 or 4 different time zones. But not today. Central time all the way. 6:20 to go here, 4th and 5 coming up here. And again, Aiden Kriske here leading this group. And we're going to get a timeout called. We'll take a brief pause. You're listening to and watching high school football here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff-Faber Real Estate Group.
The littlest thing of walking or just being able to get around the community or walk to the grocery store or walk around the grocery store is just something little, but that is such an impactful thing, I think, to the patient to say, okay, well, I have 5 other things, but you were able to just help me with one of them. And I think that is gratifying for me personally, just to help even one small aspect of their life.
All right, we are back. 6:12 here to go, and in this one here, 41-6 our score. Thank you all for certainly being a part of this here today, tuning in to our live stream, our broadcast. Zaleski Sports, Brandon Barincott on the call here today. Angelica doing our production, doing a great job getting us all situated, underway, and getting us online, getting our audio all good to go. We are, boy, I certainly don't want to jinx anything, so I'll probably stop saying anything, but she's been a rock star up here in this press box. So it's going to be 4th and 5 now from the 25 as Kriske working under center here for the Chargers. Couple men in motion here, and that one's pitched out, and that's kind of more of a forward. We're going to get a couple flags, though, on the play. We'll see what the flags are all about. Illegal shift on the offense. That's going to be declined. So Pacelli now, yeah, like we said, under 6 minutes here to go in this one. A number of different players rotating in and out. Pretty much everybody getting in the action here today for the Cardinals. You know, and certainly if you're a freshman or even a sophomore and you're getting valuable minutes in a varsity football game, and that's really something that I can promise will help you in the long run, that will pay some dividends, getting some of that in-game experience early on. Certainly just by virtue of numbers that some would say is not always ideal, but I think it does give a chance for some of these younger guys to get some of that action, get some of that varsity action, get kind of a feel for the game. And again, as you get a little bit older, a little bit more mature in the game, and certainly stronger and that type of thing, that's certainly, again, really will only benefit especially some of these younger guys here. Because really just the 2 seniors and Phyllis and Bella. So 2nd and 12 here from the 22. 2-back set. That's Williams, beg your pardon, no, that is Westrick now in at quarterback here for the Cardinals. That's give to Chase Napawaki, one of the other freshmen that we've had a chance to call his name a few times throughout the course of this season. You know, they're one of those guys that's getting some quality minutes here for head coach Drew Nelson. Jacob Williams checks out now. So 3rd and long here from the 22. We'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show coming up shortly at the conclusion of this one. Hopefully get a few words with head coach Christian Rago, along with a Zaleski Sports Highlight House player, Grady Smith, the carrier, and he's going to get up to about the 25 or so, about a 3-yard pickup. That'll be a 4th down, and you have to think at this point 4-down territory as that clock continues to wind down here today. And I did see that the Brewers were out in front 9-1. I believe that was in the 5th. Bottom of 5, in fact. Westrick back to pass. He's got a man in space. And that's to Phyllis, it looks like. And Phyllis Cut down the sideline, Zane Phyllis. He's going to try to cut back in, and he'll be brought down around the 30. It's about a 44-yard pickup there for Zane Phyllis from Sam Westrick. Sam, the quarterback here, the backup quarterback here for head coach Drew Nelson, the Cardinals squad. Nearing that final 2 minutes of action here. And while this may not necessarily have gone the way that Pacelli would have hoped it would have gone, you did see some pretty good play from a number of different individuals. Kind of an opportunity for a few to get some quality minutes here. Westrick's going to take it himself, gets down to about the 25 or so. That'd be good for, beg your pardon, I believe that was Grady Smith. So 2nd and 7 here to go. Under a minute 30 and counting in this one. 41-6 our score. Westrick working from the shotgun here. He'll drop back to pass. And he's going to be picked off there. That one picked off, and he'll return it now near the 40 or so. That was number 9 on the interception, the second interception here today. That was Gus Clinard, it looks like, in the INT. So the clock continues to wind here. In all likelihood, the Chargers probably will likely look to maybe kneel this one down. We'll see, though. And like we said, we'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. And hopefully be down on the field near the 50 there to talk to head coach Christian Rago, along with our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player, which I have my thoughts for Aurora Central Catholic High School. So the final 10 seconds here, and it looks like just a point in which they're gonna take the kneel down, I have to think, or wind this one down, and that will be a final out here. 41-6. Aurora Central Catholic High School, the Chargers 41-6 over the Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals here today. Again, we'll have our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Coming up next is the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll see you in a few minutes for our Nasonville Dairy postgame show out on the field on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Off Favor Real Estate Group.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug,
That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition.
All right, we are back here. First of all, head coach Christian Rago, you guys come out here. First of all, congratulations. This is kind of one of those, some people would call it a border battle necessarily, a non-conference game. You guys get a convincing victory here, 5 wins on the season. Talk about a game like today, because really, I mean, it's kind of a neutral site for the most part.
It's always tough when you went on the road. This is fourth week in a row, and you come in and it is a neutral site, so it doesn't feel quite like you're away. There's a little home feel, but we knew coming in they were really tough and they were very physical. They played hard, so just wasn't really sure how the game was going to go. And then we got the hot start, and our guys started rolling, and kind of all fell into place.
And you guys really did. You kind of built that momentum, and this game obviously can be a thing of momentum defensively, too. I mean, you guys had those later interceptions here. Coach, you guys, I believe, have 3 games left in the regular season. How do you approach these next few weeks here?
Well, the first thing is we're finally back home. We get 3 weeks at home, so that's big. And it's just coming in with the attitude that we're going to fight and we're going to work to make sure that we get things done this season, because 5 makes us eligible in Illinois, but 6 gets us in. So we have a work cut out for us in the next 3 weeks, but making sure that we stay focused on what the goal is.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, anything more before we get it over to our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player?
I think so. I think you deserve it.
All right. I'm going to give you a fist bump. Safe travels back. That's head coach Christian Rago here. Our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player here in Grant Board. Grant, great afternoon here today. I had you for 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. Just a monster, really through and through, and kind of that leader here for your squad. Talk about your game a little bit.
I think for me, the biggest thing is I think it's just confidence, and with confidence, you build trust with one another. In our football program, that's the one thing this year that we really come together and just trust each other a lot more, like a brotherhood.
Like a brotherhood, yeah. And you can tell you're kind of one of the leaders. I know you're one of the captains here as well. And as your coach said, you guys 5 kind of gets you eligible, but certainly I'm sure with 3 games to go, you guys have your goals set quite a bit higher yet. Anything more, Grant, for you and really the rest of the squad over these final few weeks here?
Really, Coach Swan, one of our DB coaches, defense coach, he always says after we win, happy but not satisfied. I think that's really important not to get too ahead of ourselves. That obviously it's great winning, but we just gotta stay on pace, not get too full of ourselves, and just stay on pace to keep winning games. I mean, obviously we have a chance to make playoffs, but we can't take our foot off the gas.
Absolutely, Grant. Well, anything else before we get you? We have a little drill here where I'll count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1. I'll have you say your name and that you are in the house. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Grant Bohr in the house.
Grant Bohr in the house. Hey, safe travels back. Good game today, Grant. He's our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player here, the senior quarterback. Grant, how far of a drive do you guys have back, roughly? Is it about 2 hours or so?
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Okay. Well, good game today, young man. Appreciate it. That is our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player here today, and Grant Bohr. Had those 2 big, long touchdown runs capped off by that 62-yard touchdown run to finish things off here. Again, a final out here, 41-6 out at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium here, Ashley Field in Sun Prairie. Again, very nice complex, as you can see here. Just a treat, really, to be able to call a game like this in such a nice facility. With that, we're going to sign off here from Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. Brandon Baroncott on the call, Angelica doing our production here today. Have yourselves a very good rest of your Saturday and weekend, everyone, from Zaleski Sports. And this was your Nasonville Dairy post-game show.